So this is important that you implement these in order. So this is number 14 out of 16. So number 14 out of 16 is create more, consume less, okay? So, you know, you're becoming an expert, you're doing all these things in the past that were talked about, you're taking control of your life, you're pushing out the negativity, you're forgetting about the past. Now it's time to create things. Consuming things, like say, like in my case, when I started my car channel, I never really consumed car channel material. I didn't consume the other videos about cars. I just created the car channel out of thin air with zero, like I was completely ignorant to what I was ignorant to what I was ignorant about, but it didn't matter because I was moving forward. I was taking action and I was creating something that wasn't there before. So I grabbed my camera, I had a little pocket camera, $20 or $30 pocket camera, and figure out a way to stabilize it with a little stabilizer. And I'd run out there and I would video a car while I had some free time at the dealership. And I didn't know what I was doing. I was just showing, like, hey, I was thinking, like, well, if I was just showing this to, my son or somebody else, like, what would I say? Like, okay, whatever the case may be. I didn't edit it. I didn't do anything. I just turned on the camera, videoed, and then brought it in, uploaded it straight off the camera, and that was my first videos. It was all action, it was all creation, it was just doing something, moving forward, and learning and adjusting on the way, And now my channel is, pretty much one of the top channels for a one-man show YouTube channel anyway. And of course, I can't compete with multi-million-dollar companies, but as far as an individual person putting out content on new cars, shows up high on the search results. I get, fairly decent amount of views, and I get a mostly positive response from just about everybody who watches the videos. So that's a way to create instead of just consuming, because you can get in this rut, like, okay, well, I'm not ready to start yet, so I'm just going to consume, I'm going to try to learn. But while you're consuming other people's content before you create something, you are being influenced by their content. So now you may just rehash what they're doing, okay? So this is an area in which it's not 100%. It's not like you have to, only create and never consume or anything like that. This is just something you want to think about when you're over consuming or you're overdoing things. You want to try to learn by doing as much as you possibly can. Even if you get started by consuming information, then you take that information and start implementing it. Learn by doing and push out and create things, things that other people can consume. Whether it be physical objects, it could be digital content online. It could be write poems, anything that you can put out there where other people can consume it. You're creating something, and the more they consume it, the more valuable it is typically, because then if it wasn't valuable to them, then they wouldn't even bother with it. So that's kind of your gauge on whether it's valuable to other people. If you're going in the right direction, it gives you that gauge automatically. If you don't have that interaction, you're not creating content, and you're not getting feedback, and you're doing that kind of thing, then you don't know if you're necessarily going in the right direction. You need that instant feedback before you even know what the heck you're doing. Become an expert by doing it. Be a novice while doing it, and then you'll eventually become an expert by doing it. Don't get tripped up on just consuming and consuming and never actually getting started. You want to get started, even if you have, even at the lowest, pretty much any knowledge level. You want to just get going, just do something, and it will push yourself and motivate yourself to accomplish more and be better and better and better. You're always constantly thinking, well, how could I make this better? How could I make this better? And it gives you an incentive to be better.